How's everyone doing tonight? I am a serial killer. But let's bring it down a notch a little bit, all right? Our last comic was really exciting. I know this is a really exciting show. Unfortunately, I'm a very boring person, you guys. I popped a big zit that I didn't know about the other day, and I've been like chasing that high for the last week. Anyone? Kyle did tell you guys my name is Trevor. My name is Trevor Post. It's a really misleading name. I've never really liked my name. It's because every guy named Trevor plays lacrosse, and that's just not me. I really hate being named Trevor because like every other dude named Trevor is a fucking douchebag, and I'm just not interested in that level of self-reflection, you know? No, but everyone, like, seriously, give yourselves a round of applause just for making it out here on a Saturday night. That's awesome. I'm really proud of myself any night that I get out to like do something fun and like not work related. You know, there are a lot of days that I feel like it would be cool if I never had to leave my house. Does anyone else feel that way? Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think the people who own tiny houses feel that way? Because like, I don't want a tiny home, but I would take one if I never had to leave it. Like what I'm basically saying is give me a coffin with the internet and I'll be good. I really like that joke. I don't care if you guys don't. I really like that joke because people assume that that's a suicide joke. But when I die, I want to be cremated, and you're not going to hear me tell jokes about burning my house down. Before I go any further, I do have to give you guys a parental advisory. The advisory is that I am a parent, and that I am going to be talking about my kids at some point. And I've been doing comedy long enough to know that like some crowds find that a little bit unrelatable, like some people find that a little uncomfortable. If that applies to you, anytime I bring up my kids, just imagine that I'm talking about a dog. And I say that because I've known lots of people throughout my life who are like, no, you know, I just don't think I really want to have kids. You know, I want to be like free to do what I want when I want to do it. And then a lot of these are the same people who go out and adopt dogs, and they're like, hey man, I know we were supposed to meet up for lunch today, but I just found out that I need to express my dog's anal glands, so I'm gonna have to cancel real quick. No, seriously, like dog owners are a lot of times the type of people who are like, I was totally gonna make it out to your comedy show, but there was supposed to be a thunderstorm, and I just needed to stay home and hold my puppy for the next 4 or 5 hours. No, I am a dad. I am a father. I'm a full-time single dad to 2 kids, which is a story as old as time. Like, it probably doesn't bear even going into. You guys have heard it before, right? Some irresponsible woman got me pregnant, couldn't handle it, left me with the kids, right? No, but being a parent is like pretty crazy stuff. It's pretty weird. Like my oldest kid, my daughter, started kindergarten this year. Do we have any other parents here? Give it up for parents. Oh, yeah. Sexy childless people. I'm so happy that you're here too. But yeah, my oldest child, my daughter, started kindergarten this year, which is kind of confusing because a couple months ago I had to go to that like back to school night open house thing, which really threw me up for a loop because I haven't been back to school since I dropped out of college. But nonetheless, I had to go to this open house night thing. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I did not imagine that was gonna be the sort of thing that I'd wanna like hang around at. I figured we'd go in, out, meet the teacher, done with it, right? No, they actually had to kick me out. They were like, sir, you and your daughter need to go home. Like, tomorrow's a school day. Because what I didn't know going into it is I didn't realize that back to school night was gonna be such an excellent opportunity for me to cruise on single moms. And like, I don't want you guys to get it twisted. I have 2 kids. I'm not trying to have any more kids. I'm trying to find a babysitter that I can sleep with. And like, you guys can think that like I'm being being a scumbag. I think this is making me a better father. Because who's at every single PTA meeting? That's me. I'm organizing the bake sale at my kid's school. Shit, I know the election was just like 2 weeks ago. I just started my campaign. Next year, vote for me in Manatee County, Trevor Post for school board. Vote for me, ladies. That's all I'm gonna say, right? No, but being a single parent, that means one of 2 things. Being a full-time single dad, that means that one of 2 things happen. That means that either my wife predeceased me or I'm divorced. And unfortunately, my ex-wife is only dead to me. No, I am divorced. I got a divorce a couple years ago. It was actually, turns out that me and my ex-wife had incompatible fetishes. Does anyone here have fetishes? Raise your hand. Your feet. Can I see some toes, folks? No? But like I said, it just turns out that me and my ex had incompatible fetishes. She had this really wild fetish. It was called Findom. Does anyone here know what Findom is? That's financial domination. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's partially my fault. It was like a mutual thing. Like I had a really weird fetish that I've since had to get rid of. She just couldn't hang with my fetish lifestyle. Because what I was into, the weird kink that I had was, being married, in love, with children, for the rest of my life, building a house and a home, moving into the future that way. Like I said. And don't feel bad, the truth is much darker and less funny. But I love my kids. I love hanging out with my kids. I love being a parent. Being a parent's really awesome. And you guys have heard it before. You guys have heard kids say the darndest things, right? And like sometimes it's true. Because the other day, me and my kids were playing one of their favorite games. We were playing Cops and Robbers, which is this really fun game where I'm always a criminal, and my daughter is always a really dirty cop. So anyway, we were hanging out and we were playing this game, and out of nowhere she turns around and shouts at me and she says, "You're handcuffed!" And then she hits both my wrists with slap bracelets. And I laughed, because like up to this point, handcuffs haven't been a part of her program of police brutality. But she was like, "What's funny?" And she spit in my face and slammed my head against the table just for good measure. And I explained to her that the word is actually handcuff, but we both agreed that handcuff is actually much better. So anyway, my arraignment is Tuesday. I did mention that I'm divorced. I got a divorce a couple years ago. Yeah. Oddly enough, telling the crowds that I get divorced gets me a cheer about 70% of the time. So thanks for fulfilling the prophecy. I appreciate it. But, divorce can be really nasty. It can be really unfortunate, especially when there are kids involved. But, me and my kids were actually really lucky. Right after the divorce, me and the kids moved in with, the most wonderful woman, you guys. There's almost nothing bad that I can say about her. She shares a lot of, important life experiences with me. She's also divorced. She also has kids. She knows what this, journey of life is all about. But like any good relationship, me and this woman do have, there is a problem. And our flaw is this, that woman is my mother. And I wouldn't want you guys to think that I'm some sort of, loser in his mid-30s who lives with his mom. I mean, that basically is how it is. I just would prefer you not to remember me that way. That's all I'm saying. Before I run out of time, I want to thank everybody one more time for coming out here. It's just really so cool for you guys. Thank you so much. It's really so cool of you to come out and support me or support us doing comedy. I can't speak for Kyle. I can't speak for anyone else involved in the show. But I think for me, that's all I've ever really wanted is for people to see me and support me and doing something that I love. It's like when I was in high school, one or both of my parents came to every single marching band thing or sporting event that my sister participated in. And knowing that, you guys might find it just a little bit hard to believe that neither one of my parents has ever once come to see me smoke pot and play Dungeons and Dragons. Not even one time. It's unbelievable, right? No, do we have any pot smokers here tonight? Give it up. Don't be shy. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. I used to smoke weed. I loved smoking weed. But I had to quit smoking weed a couple years ago. And it's not because of my kids, because fuck my kids. And it's not because a lot of people say oh, weed has gotten so much stronger over the years. My problem with weed, the reason that I had to quit was it just did the same thing over and over again. I've been smoking weed for years and every time was exactly the same. Does anyone get paranoid when they smoke? I used to get really paranoid when I smoked. You guys not reacting is making me very paranoid right now. No, but when I was younger, I would get stoned and I would get paranoid and I'd be oh man, the cops could totally bust me for this $20 bag of weed I have. But more recently when I would get stoned, I'd be fuck the cops, man. You're a terrible father. And I just didn't need that kind of positivity in my life, I didn't need a party like that anymore. But I am a working comedian. I'm taking comedy really seriously. And so I'm always looking for new material. And I was talking with a friend of mine the other day and they were They're like, dude, you just gotta get stoned. Like, smoke some weed, like that gets the creative juices flowing, you're gonna write some awesome jokes. And so being the professional that I am, I got stoned on purpose the other day and I sat down to write some jokes, you know? And it turns out that it was a total waste of time. Because like, the very best thing that I came up with in 45 minutes before I just gave up and started binge watching Netflix, and like besides the fact that I learned that I can eat 2 entire boxes of Eggo waffles in 45 minutes if I keep the toaster oven going, like in between rounds. But the best thing I came up with in that time, and like anyone here who smokes weed, let me know if this resonates with you. Has anyone here ever wondered why sticks of incense look like really, really, really big corn dogs for really, really, really tiny people? No? Now, if you guys have been paying any attention to me at all, it's going to come as a surprise to exactly 0 of you that I'm extremely single. And it's like, even before I got divorced, like right after I got divorced, I like labored under this insane delusion that I was just gonna like get back out there and like things were gonna be fine. And this was like somehow forgetting the fact that even before I was married, it's not exactly like I was like killing it in the romantic realms. Which probably has something to do with the fact that I say things like killing it in the romantic realms. But like, I don't know, I'm getting to the point where it's like, I kind of think that the thing I need to do is just like, I just need to retire from the dating scene. You know, I think there's like a certain level of honor in that. Like a lot of people compare dating to sports, and I'm not a sports guy, but like, bear with me here. Let me ask you this. How many times can a player go undrafted and still consider themselves a part of the league? Right? And it's like, a lot of the people I know who are like in dating, like the dating scene, like in relationships, like it seems like they're all out here playing basketball. You know, it seems like everyone's out here trying to like score as many times as they can from one period to the other. Whereas I've always considered myself like a little bit more of a golfer. Like I really like to line up my shots. Every stroke counts. I would have been happy with the hole in one, you know? It just didn't happen that way. And it's like, I just don't want to be like one of these older football players, like coming out trying to relive the glory days, like when their performance just isn't where it used to be, you know? So, and like when I really like sit down and like look at my life and like examine like my priorities, like as much as I would like to date, like I'm pretty sure I have most of those bases covered anyway. Like I already told you guys that I live with my mom. So there's someone I live with who's like constantly nagging on me to clean up and do projects around the house. And I'm a full-time parent to my kids, so I spend an inordinate amount of time and money on things that I don't understand or care about. And at the end of a night like this, when I get home, just a little bit drunk, smelling like smoke and a whole bunch of people that she doesn't recognize, I have a cat who's going to be extremely jealous of each and every one of you. She's going to be really concerned about what exactly I've been doing with each and every one of you in the time since she last saw me. And like, even as I'm laying down tonight, like she's not going to let it go. I'm going to be laying in my bed and she's going to be all in my face, like demanding to know. And I'm going to have to be like, no, baby, I swear, they didn't mean anything to me. But the truth is that you guys have meant absolutely everything to me tonight. My name is Trevor Santana Post. Find me on Facebook at Trevor Post Comedy. Thank you guys so much for your time and have a great night.